Hello, my name is Černý, and I've prepared a presentation about Poland's constitutional crisis. So I'm going to start with a short introduction. So the Poland's constitutional crisis, or the crisis of the Constitutional Court, is a political dispute which originated on the basis of the Constitutional Court Act from June of 2015. This act incorporated an article that the existing parliament, in which the majority of the political party had a party called Civic Platform, appoint successors to constitutional judges whose term of office was ending. But the newly elected political party, Law and Justice, made an amendment to the Court Act in which it stated that they could nominate all of the 5 judges getting into office in 2015, including 3 of them which were getting in the office before the election of the parliament. So that was just the basics. Now I'm going to get in depth and I'm going to talk about the dispute between parliament and the court. So all 5 of these judges were appointed by the last parliament, led by the party called Civic Platform, and it was expected by the president to accept a vow from them. But the newly elected president, Andrzej Duda, decided not to, and thanks to the amendment of which I talked about at the beginning, which the president approved, the new parliament could now nominate all of the judges. But the Constitutional Court reacted to this and stated that the last parliament had the right to appoint 3 judges and the new one only 2, and declared that most of the amendment is unconstitutional. Later that year, Parliament made another amendment in which it is forbidden to the Constitutional Court to hear cases without the presence of at least 13 judges. Given that the 3 judges are still debatable, the function of the court is actually very limited. This amendment was also said that the court must hear cases in chronological order, which means that the more important cases might get overlooked. This amendment was also proclaimed unconstitutional by the court, but this claim was refused by the Prime Minister Beata Szydlowska because it was not following the original Constitutional Court Act. Now you see that it is kind of doing against each other. The Constitutional Court is going against the Parliament more and more. But the Parliament made another amendment, and that stated that the President has a bigger influence in choosing the presiding judge of the Constitutional Court. Also, the 3 judges could block the need for the presence of Chief Prosecutor, and when the Chief Prosecutor is not present, court cannot act. Now, I'm going to do a short summary. So, in 2015, Law and Justice got a majority in both chambers of Parliament, and Andrzej Duda got a mandate as a president. Now, Andrzej Duda was also a member of Law and Justice. So that made the Constitutional Court the only supreme state power not controlled by this political party. But, as we heard, that is being changed as well. It is no surprise that the chairman of Law and Justice, Jarosław Kaczyński, got a lot of criticism for his the steps that his party took in nominating the judges. Many of his critics were stating that he is trying to diminish the power of Constitutional Court and is trying to make Poland an authoritarian regime. Now, that was the summary of what happened in the years of 2015 and 2016, but this dispute also continues in 2017 and actually even this year. So in 2017, the political party Law and Justice came up with a bill that would change how nominating judges actually work. The way it works, it worked before the bill, is that in Poland's National Council of Judiciary is that among its 25 members are 4 members of the parliament, 2 senators and 4 ex officio members who are not elected but voted. And that is the Justice Minister, representative of the President, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Administrative Court, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But the critical majority of the Council's members is made up by 15 judges selected by the legal community in recognition of their stature and commitment to professional ethics. Now, this bill would change how those 15 judges would be elected. Instead of the legal community, they would be elected by the parliament. This bill was vetoed by the president because of mass public protests. Now, Law and Justice are preparing another bill which would change the age when judges are retiring from 75 years to 65 years, forcing 34 of 87 judges to retire immediately. Further, the new Supreme Court would have the power to annul verdicts from the last 20 years. So, Law and Justice would get the right to elect 34 of 87 judges, and those 34 judges could veto any verdicts from last 20 years, which is absurd. Now, this crisis is, as I said, continuing to this day, with many protests from the public and even other countries. Also, European Commission adopted a non-binding resolution to annul the Constitutional Court Act, but Poland refused the resolution. Although it was non-binding, Poland could lose their right to vote when deciding in the European Parliament and stuff. Commission also decided to escalate the proceeding against Poland. So that was the Poland's constitutional crisis. Thank you for focusing on this topic. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.